They tried to build this narrative that Mr. Gallagher was tricked or fooled into smoking. That wasn't Mr. Gallagher's case. He started smoking as an adult in college because his friends were doing it. His friends were drinking and smoking and chasing girls. Those were his words. There's no evidence Mr. Gallagher started or continued to smoke because if anything, R.J. Reynolds or a tobacco company said or did. There was an attempt to wedge Mr. Gallagher's case into the narrative of someone who didn't know smoking was dangerous, was uninformed. But then you heard the facts about Mr. Gallagher's case from Mr. Gallagher and his own expert himself, who said from the time he began smoking, he knew smoking was dangerous. And of course he did. He was informed. He went to prep school. He went to 2 different universities. He took colleges like atomic physics, classics, and foreign languages. Of course he knew the dangers. But they tried to force him into this narrative of someone who had the wool pulled over his eyes and didn't know smoking was dangerous. But the facts got in the way. And even though he had that information about the dangers, you heard for the vast majority of his life, he just didn't want to quit smoking. And that's okay. No one's criticizing him. No one's judging him for that decision. You've heard it was a legal product. He was entitled to smoke if he wanted to. But he smoked with his eyes wide open to the risks of smoking. He told you in the 1960s he wasn't even thinking about quitting smoking. In the 1970s, he wasn't ready to quit. In the 1980s, he didn't want to quit smoking. He was going to continue smoking despite what anyone said, despite what a warning label said, despite the knowledge that he had, because that's how he wanted to manage the stress in his life. But along with that right to make that decision comes the personal responsibility for that decision.